Hey, Mrparka here to review a new one called Winner Tapes All. Really good wordplay there. This one's by a guy named Justin Channell, who's done some movies previously. I believe he did work on the movie Book of Lore. And Winner's Tapes All is a pretty unique effort. Very different, very funny. Kind of in the vein of something like a fake documentary, a pseudo-fake documentary, but playing into like the VHS culture and the shot-on-video, low-budget horror movie culture, which is pretty popular and prevalent right now. You know, if you guys see movies like Adjust Your Tracking or are familiar with like the Poloni Brothers, stuff like that, it kind of plays into that element. Essentially what we have here is a local cable like access channel that's doing like this look at these two independent directors from their area. And we introduced to them as the Henderson brothers, and they made a couple movies that were popular, made for the video market early on. And there are Curse of Stabberman and Cannibal Swim Team or something like that. Cannibal, I can't think exactly what it's called. But essentially they're both pretty funny, and they seem pretty accurate to fit in that genre. We have an enthusiastic fan who's kind of the I guess the catalyst to this story, who brings them together and whatnot, and kind of makes this all happen. That's played by LaMartina, who is a director himself, Call of Cthulhu and Witch's Brew and things like that. And he essentially plays like a YouTube vlogger kind of style, enthusiastic, you know, in the old underground horror area. And you know what? He's very accurate, I'd say, at how he presents himself. He's probably watched a couple of these YouTubers and things like that, I must say, and just super fans. And essentially what we have here is it kind of is the story of Massacre Video in a lot of ways, the 555 tape, and how they talk about the re-emerging culture of VHS and how all these movies have this big fandom now, and they're obscure, but people want to bring them to light. And essentially what we have here is the, you know, a fake kind of documentary style that pokes a little bit of fun at the VHS collecting culture, and it does it with love. They have to definitely know their source material and be fond of it to even make something like this, and especially something so obscure as, you know, the movies like this. It definitely, I think the Henderson brothers are probably inspired by like the Poloni brothers and the definite films like that, like Sledgehammer and shot-on-video movies. And the story is essentially of Chris LaMartina's story is essentially the story of a Massacre Video, kind of in a way. But I really caught myself enjoying this. It's absolutely hilarious, and it seems genuine enough to be awkward, and it has really good humor. I love that. There's obviously shout-outs to other people. The movie that inspired the Henderson brothers to get their start was I Piss on Your Guts, directed by, I believe, Dan Gillis, you know, Jamie Gillis. Just lots of stuff like that, lots of fun, and the jokes in here are the type that maybe not necessarily make you bust out loud laughing immediately, but they stay in your head, and you repeat them for days, and they grow on you to a great level, and you end up kind of falling in love with it. I watched it a couple times just to make sure I felt the same way the second time, and I actually enjoyed it even more. I just think it's a really well done and really accurate kind of film like that. And they even at the very ending, it opens the question like, I hope this isn't a passing phase, which is also very funny as well. My one concern for the movie is it's such a unique kind of a title involving in these kind of small like subculture of people that would even get a lot of the jokes. I just hope that people that don't really get the jokes can understand the hilarity and the nerdom and fandom and things like that. But essentially there's lots of great one-liners in here. The movies they actually show clips of that they made seem genuine enough, maybe just a little over the top. Some of these, they make a great gag about walk time, about how these movies would pad their time by just having people walk around. And then the second one, there's a swim, so it's swim time. Swim time, you get it? Swim time? It's just a lot of good jokes like that. The two Henderson brothers, the people who play them, do a great job, and they make this storyline, how they're stepbrothers and things like that, and how there's kind of, you know, some animosity going on throughout it. But the gags are, the jokes are really great in it. The acting, I think, by the two leads is pretty damn good. They create these characters that are really great. The one Henderson brother just seems completely zoned out. They both kind of seem zoned out in their own way, but I caught myself really loving this movie, and it felt really genuine and a great, you know, kind of poking fun at something that people love and they know a lot about, and I really, really loved it, actually. I think that a lot of people that understand that are into this stuff will absolutely eat it up. I think that other people that aren't into this stuff will, if they can, you know, grasp it and get a little bit of it, I think they'll enjoy it. But I think that the humor is it's a little, you know, more widespread. I think people just like that kind of awkward, strange humor will dig this. But lots of great one-liners in here. I think that a lot of people will love. My whole family died swimming in the pool. be better if it was raining. Just stuff like that it's just, to me, it sticks in my head. Just lots of memorable quotes, lots of good jokes. And, Chris LaMartina plays it pretty dead on for that kind of fandom and things like that. And obviously, they have some shots of Cinema Wasteland. Tim Gross has a scene in here just interviewing people about the VHS culture. But regardless, I think Winners Tape All is really kind of brilliant in what it does and how it does it, making, kind of doing a fake story about, VHS culture, kind of like Adjust Your Tracking, and just, the idea of something like Demon Queen or 555 selling for X amount of money on eBay and then people re-bringing these out and things like that. I think it's just really cool, and I think it's well worth your time, and I can't wait to see it get a good release. By the way, the music's also a lot of fun. I guess kind of like a chiptune a little bit, maybe synthy. But I'm Mrparka. Thank you very much for watching, and have a good one.
The actress we cast is Michelle. That was a tough one.
No, we didn't cast Amber. I asked her to do this movie because we both worked at Waffle House.
In the 1980s, the Henderson brothers blurred the lines between Hollywood and the backyard.
And I said, honey, we're going to destroy those clothes. You know that. We told you ahead of time. So if you watch the movie again, she's wearing a dude's shirt. Though, offset, I do remember her being a very sweet girl, and quite frankly, her funeral was very sad.
Now they're looking back on their work thanks to their biggest fan.
You ever just see a movie and it changes your life? These two movies changed my life.
I was real obsessed with my legs too. I like showing off my legs and my body, which I thought was fantastic. I pretty much thought everything was fantastic, and yeah, rewatching these films, nah.
You stabbed your last man, stabber man!
I didn't even need a stunt guy or nothing. That was all me.
Say hello to your family in hell!
Now the blood spitting, I love. That is incredibly important, getting those death scenes right.
When I was about 7 years old, I saw about 4 people die. I watched them as they died, and all of them spit up blood, so that's science.
These movies need to be out there. I mean, there's such great stories that have to be told.
How Todd's supposed to get in my hamburger?
I don't know. I do know I lost my appetite again.
It delivers. It has a lot of heart. And you can tell because there's this scene where the heart gets ripped out and it goes everywhere. I mean, there's a lot of it.
Winners Tape All, the Henderson brothers story. A new documentary, sort of.
Let's shoot it.
I used to be too nice to you.
That's how I used to do it. Let's shoot it. Like I was doing a magic trick.
I did like that.
Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
I did that. Let's shoot it. And I was like, let's shoot like we were shooting stars together.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good move. I should bring that back.
You've changed, man.